Guys, hi. Hello. Mind the audio. Literally mind everything. This is like very much unprofessional setting. But yeah, I realize it's been a while since I've talked to you guys. It's been a long while. A long while. Like a long while. And that's for a reason. When I started making my YouTube channel, or when I started creating publicly, like online, I wanted to make sure that I was in the right mind frame and in the right space to be out here talking, talking on my experiences, giving advice to people, even just talking, like just to be in the right mind frame to like make sure that I'm expressing myself to the best of my ability, if you get what I mean. Like, I don't want to just produce stuff that I know wouldn't be like quote unquote my best work, you know what I mean? However, at the same time, I know that I have an inner critic. I have an inner critic who I've been dealing with for the past 3 years. She has been loud. And do you want to know why she's been loud? She's been loud because I decided to start changing. I think I made the executive decision to start changing at the end of 2022, to just start changing the way that I speak to myself, changing the way I allow people to treat me, changing the people that I allow to have access to me, and just changing into a more authentic and just the version of myself that I know I am. Not at my best, but the one that makes me feel at home. I don't know how to explain it. The one that I know is the essence of me, that internal aspect of me that I know if I can go back in time to when I was born all the way until I die, I will look at her and I will know that I stood 10 toes down and I was myself, you know? And for the past, like, let's just say 2 years, that inner critic in me has really been like trying to rock my shit. And I know it's also a reflection of my environment, because you guys didn't know, I don't know if I've talked about this on this channel, but I grew up in a very abusive household with a very emotionally abusive mom, and like just literally all of it, like financial, emotional, physically, like neglect, like just really heavy stuff that no one should ever have to go through. I had to deal with that. And I've just kind of been in this really like critique mode internally, because after I kind of cut ties with that aspect of me, or that aspect of my family, or the way that I grew up, I noticed that obviously it starts to get louder in moments where I don't feel the best or the perfect one. You know what I mean? Like, I feel as though maybe if I conform, maybe if I actually do follow the criticism that my mind tries to give me based on reflections of my past, maybe I will get somewhere. But the old structure isn't working. That's why we stopped doing that, girl. You know what I mean? So yeah, I've just been trying to be less critical about how I voice myself and my emotions. And I realized that if I want to be that more so, I need to honestly be able to express myself on my own social media platform in the way that I want to, without like wanting it to look perfect. And honestly, I thought that's how I was being when I started this channel. I thought I was being super authentic and not criticizing myself and stuff. And then like when I started to get views, like I realized, I was like, okay, maybe I should start appearing more of this way, or maybe I should start like doing my makeup more. Maybe I need to be like this, maybe I need to speak like this. And also with the push as well, I don't know if anyone else is experiencing this, but with the YouTube algorithm, there's just a lot of like self-help and like woman focused content being pushed on my For You page on telling me what to do. And I really don't like that. Like, as an eldest daughter, I do not like being told what to do, especially if, one, I do not benefit from that, or two, like, I can tell that me and the people that are giving me the advice, we don't relate in any aspect. They don't even understand or could even put themselves in my shoes in any way, in any shape, in any form, you know what I mean? So, like, it's obviously algorithm has a lot to do with, like, what I watch as well, because I watch a lot of self-help stuff, but that type of self-help, that's not me. But the thing is, the YouTube algorithm is a bit shaky, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes that stuff comes up and it really pisses me off. And like, I did a podcast on this where I talked about how there's just so much of an emphasis on people to be better and, like, improve and be the best version of themselves. Like, honey, how are you gonna be the best version of yourself if you won't let yourself live? If you won't let yourself exist in the good, the bad, the ugly, the shit, the awful. You know what I mean? Like, I saw a TikTok earlier today that was talking about how God gives us emotions so we can feel through them, so we can heal through them. Like, there's nothing evil or demonic about how we feel, about, like, how we act in that space, you know, like, finding it difficult to get up, to look after yourself. Like, there's nothing demonic about that. Sometimes you really do have to just go through it so that you can heal through it, you know what I mean? And that really helped me. And honestly, I love my TikTok algorithm, because when I need to hear something, when I'm in the, you know, when I'm just critiquing myself, and I'm like, oh, maybe I could have done better, or maybe I could, you know, be better, maybe I can communicate better, maybe I can be more understanding, maybe I can be more compassionate, maybe I can read people better, you know what I mean? Sometimes I find myself just scrolling online and, like, literally finding the perfect thing, and it just tells me, hey, you don't need to be perfect in order for your feelings to be valid, in order for you to care for yourself, and in order for you to be deemed as worthy. You don't need to be perfect or perfect in the eyes of the world to be in that sense. And honestly, I do not want anyone that's, like, comes across my channel to think that I'm that type of person where I, like, give out self-help advice or, like, whatever, like, just give advice or, like, talk on my YouTube channel and, like, just, like, put so much pressure on people. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that space for people, because when I come across channels like that, oh my gosh, like, I just feel, like, so much, and, like, just so much pressure to move forward and to be at a different state in my life. And I have dreams and I have goals and I know where I want to be, but I also know that I'm not there. And when I see those types of things, it's like, bro, it's just flight or fight mode. Like, I try to find, like, ways to just, like, do things quickly and, like, just, like, be in a better place. But it doesn't matter what better place you're in if you're not in a better place internally. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's why for the past, like, 3 years, however long I've been doing that, I've been trying to shut off my inner critic and just let myself exist, and trying to be around people who aren't so criticize. Don't criticize me as much for just being a human being, because at the end of the day, we're all just living life. You know what I mean? Everyone's experiencing everything. You know what I mean? And it can be so easy to isolate yourself in your own experience and disregard how other people or what they might be going through, because you generally can't put yourself in their shoes. You know what I mean? And I just don't want I just hate this whole, like, internet conversation that people are having, specifically tailored towards women, where it's just, like, it feels like a lot of pressure is being put on us. Like, there's pressure on us to fix the relationships we have with men after we've been traumatized by the men in our lives. So it's our job now to fix that, you know? There's more content on telling women to avoid pain, to avoid danger, to avoid abuse than there is content on telling women how to just exist in this world. Like, a lot of content is just being tailored around how it's like it just makes you feel so stupid for thinking that like life can be good. You know what I mean? Because like, oh my god, how could I expect them to want to be a good person? These were the signs. But guys, you do realize life isn't like a book, right? Like, it's not a book that you can like go to and like, it's not like a school essay that you can write about. Like, life is ever changing, ever unfolding, forever. It's not like your opinions and all that advice that you give can literally change the next day. You understand what I'm saying? So when people like come online to like just shame women for wanting to live their lives, wanting to have fun, wanting to experience good relationships, wanting to just have a good time, it genuinely makes me sad, because it's just another form of control. That's all it is. It's another form of control where people are trying to control women in another aspect by like guising it, or just putting it under the guise of helping you, putting it under the guise of protecting you. And funnily enough, you can only find that type of help from them. They are the only ones who can coach you in that. It's not like you can figure that out by yourself through your life experiences. And also, it's not like their life experiences could potentially be one of the main factors of why they're giving out that type of advice in the first place. Because you have to be really wary of the type of advice and content you're consuming, like online, on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube specifically, like, because some of the stuff that gets pushed out, like, it's genuinely so fucked up. Like, I remember, like, a few months ago where I was speaking to a guy friend about something, and I realized, like, we'd always have conversations about women on Twitter, like, the type of women that are shown on his Twitter feed and the things that they talk about versus the type of women on my Twitter feed, or the type of men on my Twitter feed, you know what I mean? Like, or the type of content that brings up men, you know, like the context in which people bring up women on his feed versus the context in which people bring up men on my feed. And like, it just made me realize, like, genuinely, like, there's so much hate out in the world, and it's embedded in our algorithms. Like, literally, there's an algorithm gender war, and it's been going on for a long time, but it's genuinely like being spewed out. Like, if you're a woman and you go on Twitter right now, you're gonna find at least 10 different women telling you, decenter men from your life, da 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 da. But trust me, if you decentered men from your life, you wouldn't even have to be saying that sentence out of your mouth. Like, you wouldn't even have to say, hey, decenter men from your life, because why would men be the center in the first place? You know what I'm saying? Like, all this talk about decenter men from your life, instead of telling people decenter men, why don't you tell them center yourself more? Like, it's always some shame stuff attached to this, and honestly, that shame always keeps you going back to that type of content, because shame is addictive, guys. Shame, fear, guilt, that type is addictive. Like, that type of stuff is addictive. That's how addictions start. It's how you get like really bad addictions, when you feel that shame, and then you, like, it makes you want to go back. You know what I'm saying? And guys, like, I just want you to be wary of like the type of things that you consume and that you like let yourself experience. Because I decided early 2023 that I was gonna stop consuming that type of content, because like for a little bit I was just getting into it, and then I was like, wait a minute, like I started to notice like the type of tactics they were using to get you hooked on that type of stuff, and it was just like, whoa, like everyone is different, everyone has their own experiences, and everyone gets help from everywhere. And you know what, that type of content does help other people, but there's people that are going through lives so crazy that like no type of advice that you give them is even gonna cut it, guys. Like, I won't lie. Like, there's people that go through life where, like, I don't even know how to explain it, where it's like you can't put a direct definition on what they're going through to give them a specific type of advice, because you could be dead wrong. Like, you could be giving someone advice, telling them, oh my god, nah, leave her, like, she's toxic, da 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 da. Whole time, bro, she's being abused, bro. She's being abused at home, and she doesn't know who to talk to, bro. Like, whole time, you could be getting told, oh, nah, he's not shit. Whole time he's getting beaten at home, guys. Like, like it's not even funny. It's dead serious. You know what I mean? And I need people to use their brains, and realize people don't just act out of character for no reason. Like, people don't just express themselves for no reason. People don't. It comes from something, and not everyone is traumatized. Not everyone is going from a past wound. People are actually actively experiencing things right now, and honestly, like, this type of thing that puts so much pressure on the victim or the person who's being victimized. This is why society is so fucked up. We put so much responsibility on the victims to fix shit, to fix it. Like, why are we expecting the person who's going through it to also have the solution to what they're being victimized to? You know what I'm saying? Like, we put so much on the victim, and it's literally being shown. Like, that lady who got raped was in a group of how many men? Like 70, so many men raped her, and she found out through tape. She had no idea her partner, her lifelong partner, did that to her. And she went to court. People didn't believe her. She went to court. It got, like, she was getting so much hate. Literally, like, this lady is, like, the strongest woman in the world. Like, she got raped by her. The love of her life was using her and raping her without her knowledge. She went to court. People didn't believe her. And then it went to the Supreme Court and she won. Thank fucking God. But do you see how much she's had to go through to get to that point? So people can actually just be like, oh my God, you know what? What you're going through, you don't deserve that. We are going to be here for you. Jeez, like, why does it take so long for people to just, like, like, it's always some shame attached to it, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? No matter if you're on the right track, oh, you could always do better. If you're young, oh, you could always be doing more. If you're in school, oh, you could always be better. But what about the road that it's taken you to get here to this point right now? Why can't we be grateful for where we are now? Why is it always, oh, we have to fix this, we have to fix this, we have to fix... What about where we are right now? And how are we going to get to wherever we want to go if we can't even look at where we are right now and be like, OMG, I am the shit. I am amazing. I made it here. I didn't even think I was going to be alive, but I'm here right now. I don't know how I got here. It's all by the grace of God. It's all by my resilience, my discipline, my care for me to get to this point. You know what I mean? And, like, honestly, like, I just want people to stop telling women what to do and guising it as, like, self-help. Or just asking women to completely change themselves just because this world doesn't want to see us. You know what I'm saying? Just because this world doesn't want to make us a priority. Now all of a sudden we have to work around it. We have to go around discentering men. We have to go around being a gym baddie. We have to go around be the baddest person in the room, be rich as fuck, just so we can feel something, just so we can feel worthy of living a life. Not even worth living a life, of being free, of living. Like, but why can't we allow women to be the baddest when they're here? Like, when they're where I am right now, where I'm sat. Why does it always we have to strive for more to be the baddest? You know what I'm saying? Why is it, oh, she always has to be... I mean, I naturally progress up there. But how am I supposed to get up there if you can't see me right now? If you won't, as a world, feed the seed and help me grow? You know, because now you're telling me to remove the nutrients. You know what I mean? You're telling me, oh, strip yourself down bare and start over because whatever God was doing, they didn't know what they were doing. What do you mean you're walking around with a pure heart? What the hell? What do you mean you care about people? What are you doing? Don't do that. People are evil out here. You have to be ruthless. Yes, people are evil, but I'm gonna be kind. I'm sorry. I do not care. We are not gonna meet. I'm not gonna stoop down to your level just because. Just because. So I want people to stop shaming women and trying to get women to change who they are at their core just to make sense of how evil or how people have treated them in their past. Because no matter what you did, no matter how kind, no matter even how brazen you were, no matter what, it doesn't even matter, guys. I want you to tell you, no matter how you try and prepare yourself for that type of situation, for that type of trauma, for that type of abuse, there's nothing that can stop that. I'm telling you, like, you can try your best to protect you, but once you're being abused, it's not you. You're not the one that's doing the abusing. You're just experiencing your life. There's nothing that you can do. Literally, you are being abused. Besides removing yourself, you are being abused. No amount of shame, no amount of changing yourself can take away from the abuse you experience, the trauma you have in your body, and the shame. None of that. No amount of achieving can get you there. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I want people to stop being so shameful, like giving such like weird advice that's just straight criticism. And I want people to create a space for women to actually just like be cool, like where we can like experience our hobbies and like just be sweet to each other and like actually reach a point of understanding and realize that like nobody wants to be this evil bitch. Like nobody wants to be that. You know what I mean? Everyone actually just wants to be happy. You know, everyone just wants to live a life and be good to the people that are good to them. Like nobody wants to have to put boundaries up and like express themselves and write paragraphs. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody. Trust me, nobody wants to do that. You know what I'm saying? So guys, please like actually be kind to women in your life, because not only is society, the societal structure of this world fucking us over, so is the algorithm, bro. Like, so is everything that gets tailored to us. It always tries to criticize the shit that we're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could be the perfect woman. You could literally be Beyonce and people are still going to tell you you're not deserving. Which is insane. Do you know what I'm saying? And I want y'all to really clock that, and through this conversation, observe your world and try to find where you notice, like, how much shame and how much criticism you allow to just slip through your mind, through the people in your life, through your past. Because trust me, the criticism and the shame and the fear, it's not gonna help you. Okay? That stuff doesn't help. You need to be compassionate to yourself. You need to be sweet. You need to be nice to yourself so that you can feel safe in your body enough to trust yourself so that you can actually go ahead and achieve your goals. But if you can't even be nice to yourself, how do you expect yourself to trust yourself? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, guys, I hope you'll like that. I'm probably going to start making content again this year because just because I want to now. You know what I'm saying? Like, but anyways, thank you for listening. I love you. Bye.